Hi, hello everyone. This is Shivagami from SNS College of Technology. As I am an assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology, here we are going to learn about the topic as Introduction to Stepwise Project Planning in Software Project Management System. Let's see the topic. What is stepwise project planning? Okay, a structured approach to planning the complex project. Okay, what is the stepwise project planning is? We're going to follow one of the structured approach for the complex projects. Okay, breaks the planning process into clear. It breaks the projects, breaks the planning process into clear manageable steps. We're going to take a manageable steps for the complex projects. Helps ensure all critical factors are concerned. It helps in the stepwise project planning helps to it helps to ensure all critical factors are concerned. Promotes the systematic thinking and thinking and reduce the project risk. The stepwise project planning helps to reduce our project's risk. The first step of the stepwise project planning is identify the project scope and objectives. The first one is the step one is identify the project scope and objectives. We should clearly define what the project aims to achieve. We should clearly define what the project aims to achieve, and then we're going to outline the deliverable boundaries and the constraints. Okay, it means we're going to fix the timeline for that project. How much time we're going to take for the project completion, and then we're going to fix boundaries for that. That means the resources. What are all the resources we're going to use for that project? We're going to take a boundaries for that, and then the constraints. What are all the constraints? Resources are we going to use for that project? Okay. The next one is identifying the key stakeholders and their expectations, and then we're going to identify the stakeholders expectations. Okay, stakeholders expectation, and establish the successful criteria. Step 2 in project identifying project identify project infrastructure. Okay, the step 2 is identify the project infrastructure. Form a project team and assign the roles. Okay, we define a goal, and our first step is we define a goal and the objective of the scope of the project. Next we're going to plan is identify the project infrastructure. Okay, in this step we're going to allocate the project. We're going to allocate the project team for the roles. Okay, and then establish the timeline of the communication and the authority. Decided on tools, systems, and the project methodologies. And then we're going to decide what are all the tools we're going to use for that project. The systems, how many systems there is systems, how much RAM we need that for that system for doing our project. And then the project methodologies, what are all the methodologies we're going to use for that project? We should identify. Okay, and then the define documentation standards for reporting and structures. Define documentation standards and reporting our structures. The step 3 is analyze the project characteristics. Determine the size, complexity, and the risk of the project. First, we're going to determine the size of the project, and then what are the complexity we will done for this project, and the risk of the project during the project. Duration during the project, some risk will occur on that project. So before we're going to analyze the characteristics of the project, and then The next one is identify the dependencies amongst the task, and we're going to identify the dependencies amongst the task. Access resource ability to constraints, access report ability to constraints. The step 4. The next one is step 4. Identify the product and activities. Identify the product and activities. List all project deliverable products. List all project deliverables. Okay. It means we're going to list out what are all the products we're going to use for that project. Okay. And then break down each product into requires the activities. Okay. And then we're going to separate the products for the required activities. Okay, use tools like a product breakdown structure, PSB, PBS. Okay, this method we're going to use for the project breaks. Now, and then the sequence task logically and allocated the resources, and the sequence task logically allocated to the resources. The fifth step of this project stepwise planning is estimate the effort and schedule. Estimate the effort and schedule. The estimate you can think, if suppose we're going to do one project, what are all the things we're going to estimate for that project? Timeline and the how much amount or how much resources we're going to use for that project. Okay, this is the fifth step. So estimate the efforts and schedule, and how much we have, how much manpower we need for that project completion. Okay, these are all things we're going to estimate. I hope you have understand this concept in software project management. Thank you all.